Picture this. You're not just fixing cars, you're living your passion every day. At Cox, you'll work on a diverse range of automobiles. Surrounded by a team of friendly, like-minded individuals, you'll enjoy great pay and benefits. Ready to make this a reality? At Cox, we're recruiting auto and diesel techs to join our Mannheim and Fleet Services teams. Learn, grow, and fine-tune your career as a technician at Cox. Find out more at cox.careers/autotech.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
No music, no intro. Y'all must be new here. Ryan hit me up earlier and said, "Hey, after the Saints Monday Night Football game, let's have a recap show, like post, like right after the show." And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." Wasn't expecting it to be like this, but what else is fucking new, man? Rapid reaction, #episode Saints Twitter podcast. The Saints shit the bed and they got outplayed for 4 quarters. Like let's just call it like it is. They just got outplayed by the Raiders consistently all game long. There's a lot of for a season that started with a lot of optimism. I'm not trying to make it sound all gloom and doom, but man, they got some problems.
Yeah, it was something. But what's funny is it played out exactly like the Raiders needed it to play out.
Yep, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like just like we talked about. Just go listen back to the game. To the preview we did. We talked about Josh Jacobs, how he might not kill you with like 50-yard runs, but just those little 4 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards, and 4 yards, he'll kill you with it. And Derek Carr, in the flats.
Saints killer Derek Carr. Put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on his name. What season was that? Was that 2016?
Yes.
I mean, he got paid off of that. You know what I'm saying? like that game there, that's the game his agent showed, like, look what that did to the Saints. You know what I'm saying? So, you just got to take it, man. But, let's just go into it, bro. Like,
what, like, I mean, so.
What, let me ask you this. Honestly, what was your feeling going into this game? Like, when you said, okay, this is what, like, I had what I wanted it to look like, but what I really felt in my heart what it would look like.
It should have, if you just look at it talent-wise, of how the Saints are stacked talent-wise, and we can get into this conversation, maybe they're not as talented as we think they are, but this should have been a Sean Payton, Drew Brees typical Monday Night Football game. Like, it's over by the third quarter, halftime. And the funny thing is, like, the script for that played out to start. Like, they looked decent on offense. The defense looked good on 2 drives. And listen, Drew looks – we got to talk about it. Drew looks not good. He looks not good. And I feel like, we talking about players that look good in like Traquan and Alvin were like the only 2 players that I could think of that like had good games. And but let's start with Drew. Like he I said if he still looked bad and he got protection, then we gotta have a conversation. And I feel like he did not look good. Like he still looks off. And when you have a quarterback like him, he's over 40, and he's known for his accuracy. And he's like, Drew's like me. When I'm finishing at the night, I'm spraying all over the place, and that's what Drew is right now. just every.
That's the catch. You know, people talk about arm strength. People talk about, you know, all these different things. But the difference with Brees so far this season is he hasn't been accurate. And that's the catch. I mean, because at the end of the day, even if he can't throw 40-yard passes, or even if he, he's not hitting the downfield passes like we would love to see him, we still had, like, he's going to be money within those 20 yards.
Which the crazy thing is, and I'm sorry to cut you off, the crazy thing is, like, last season, like, I thought that was like a perfect example of like what we were to expect. Like he didn't have an arm strength last season, but his accuracy was still majorly on point, and it's why the offense, even though it may have been a little limited, still hummed. Tonight, bruh, there were some passes where like, yo, like that pass to Josh Hill off the deep play action set, which is, got the deep drop, like that is what? I don't know what that was.
Yeah, the one Jared Cook, and you could kind of argue, okay, when Jared Cook did the push off, did he come off the timing? That was possible, but
it's still a bad pass.
It was just about 3 or 4 passes where it's like, and it's funny, people talking about the interception. That one, I was just like, hey, I mean, that's kind of like Drew Brees. I don't care what season you pick, Drew Brees would have threw that interception, because he just gets caught by those linebackers who kind of sit and drop, and Drew Brees can't see him, and they get that interception. So the interception really didn't blow me away like, oh, something's wrong with Drew. It was just about 4 passes where I was like, ugh. It's just losing, like the velocity isn't there on the end, even for intermediate ones, like 15. Like, I'm not talking about deep passes. I'm talking about like 15-yard passes where it's just kind of like every time we drop back, I was like, it's like, will it make it?
Oh no! And we see it on Twitter. Patrick has been talking to us. Our boy Patrick Claiborne, NFL Network's been talking to us. I saw Mina Kimes talking about it. Like, here's the thing. I know people will not agree with me, and I know people will think I'm dumb for saying it. I still stand by the fact that them not getting Mahomes has, like, in terms of franchise-wise, is worse than the.
Let it go, dog. Just let it go, nigga.
No, I won't. But
let it go, bro.
But my point is, no, especially when he's playing Lamar on Monday Night Football.
You got to let it go, man. You got to let it go. It's like being mad you didn't win a lotto, man. Like, it just
that is not okay. That is not even close to the same. Anyhow,
you got 5 numbers, but you didn't get the Powerball. That's it. You just didn't get it.
Stop it. It's not comparable. But everyone's calling for number 2. And in a season where expectations are sky high, like, I know Sean Payton has a lot of balls. A lot of them. Does he have the balls at some point to say, you know what, Drew, you got to have a seat, and he gives it to Jameis? Like, is that going to happen?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so, but it could happen. I mean, look, Sean Payton got some nuts now. Like, there's never been any argument, does Sean Payton have nuts? He got nuts, but you talking about the pillar of the Saints franchise. I mean, this is that's a hard move to make, and I wouldn't want to make that decision. I'd do it, but I'm saying that, from my couch. But as like the Saints head coach, to make that decision, just say, you got to have a seat. Boy, And it better go right. That's the thing. It better go
Yeah,
right.
you can't bridge Drew and Jameis, out there throwing 4 or 5
Four picks, 4 picks, 2 picks. And that is just mayhem. It's
Oh,
mayhem, man.
oh. If you think Saints Twitter was bad tonight, whew, that
Ooh-wee. Man, shout out to my dude Nick, not Nick Underhill, my dude Nick, man. My dude be so pissed during game day, boy. Everybody trash. I just look at his Twitter, man. Every single play on the Saints is trash, bro. But you just, man, look. Me personally, I've just learned to just look at the season. You just got to step back and take a big picture. Now, I'm not trying to say, don't panic or there aren't things to be worried about. But I tweeted, under Sean Payton since 2006, the Saints are 500 in September. I talked about it on the last podcast. The Saints are just not a very good team early in the season.
Nope.
Now, that could be, like circumstances change. If Drew Brees is taking like a major decline, that changes those outcomes. But I'm just saying, don't look at this game and be like, well, the season's over. No way they're going to make the playoffs.
they're still tied. They're still number 1 in the division.
They're number 1 in the division. It's one game. You're 1-1, but you got the Packers coming next week. Aaron Rodgers looking quite studly. He's looking studly.
And he had to be watching tonight like, oh, this is secondary that says one of the best in the league.
Let's talk about the defense, bro.
Oh, bro.
Got to talk about the defense.
Let's start with Cam.
Where you at?
Come on, man. Third string tackle. Like we brought it up on the podcast, Ryan. We said he had to eat. He had to eat.
And look, they did give him some attention. I will say, they had the tight ends and all that, but come on, bro. Like you got to show me something.
Something, man. Something. The secondary, everyone had
my man Waller.
Ha! Huh! Huh!
My dog Waller couldn't be stopped.
It reminded me of the whole Super Bowl thing, like don't let their best player beat you when he talked about Dallas Clark.
Saw Sean Payton like screaming on the sideline, like do something. Something.
And here's the thing that Waller put the Saints in a position. The best player to cover Waller was Demario Davis, who again, Demario's insane and had a great game. But because of Josh Jacobs, you can't have Demario cover Waller all game because he has to be in the box. Like
right, because of Josh Jacobs.
You have Josh Jacobs.
Do that.
So this is maybe a storyline that me and you didn't hit on enough in the preview show. John Gruden knows Sean Payton, man. He knows Sean, and he knows maybe Dennis Allen, and he cooked Dennis Allen. And a lot of it ties to there was no pass rush. As a Saints fan, this is what has to frustrate you. They're down to their third string right tackle. Richie Incognito goes down. They're down to their second string left guard. Derek Carr had all the time in the world, and they leaned on the Saints defensive line, and Derek Carr had time to cook, and it was death by 1,000 cuts. Like they did what they needed to do, and they shortened the game.
It was like the Saints defense expended all their energy in like the first quarter because they got like 3 sacks early. They were pressuring Derek Carr. They were getting some early, shorting the field. But after that, I mean, it was just all Derek Carr and Waller, and they really had no, Brandon Edwards. It was just they really had no answer, and Derek Carr had all the time he needed in the pocket.
And here's the frustrating thing. We talked about it. If Marshawn isn't engaged, and I'm not saying he wasn't engaged, but he has beef with Mike Evans, and he takes it personal.
Yeah.
And his level of play, besides the game that me and you were at, when he's against Mike Evans, is top notch.
Right.
But there's moments where he's going against quote unquote lesser talent and he's just bumbling around. And that's very frustrating. And that, he wasn't, everyone played bad.
Everybody played bad today. Like, he didn't have Rick, other than like I think there was one pass he gave up that was kind of like a rub route, and he had to just make a tackle over the middle, and it was the pass interference, which that's a whole other story. Saints have the most penalties in the league so far. Like,
completely undisciplined.
Undisciplined. The refs are calling it. Like, I don't know. Saints fans are gonna say, "Oh, it's the refs against the Saints," but whatever. Like, and it's costing the Saints games.
Yeah,
like
you
those
gotta play
drive
better.
killers. You had drive killers on the offense, and you had drive helpers on defense that extended drives for the Raiders. So those have to be addressed, man. Drew, like into the game, Drew Brees came back with one of those, patented Drew Brees, no huddle drives where he just marched down the field and got a touchdown. He brought the Saints within the score. All the defenses need is a stop. They get the Raiders down to 3rd and 13 or something like that. Derek Carr just launched this one up, and Jack Rabbit, it was kind of ticky-tacky. Like, it was ticky-tacky, I admit, but, you just can't, you can't put yourself in position like that on Ruggs, who hadn't caught a ball all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were already in position. You didn't have to, hand fight with him on a non-catchable ball, which was non-catchable. So they just got to play smarter, and they haven't so far.
They haven't. Malcolm Jenkins, bad game.
Got work.
Worked.
Got that work.
Worked, bro. Like, I felt like I was watching old Malcolm. Like, well, he is old, but like old.
Yeah, but it was like, damn. Like, damn, why can't we get the Eagles Malcolm Jenkins?
Nah, he must be new. And it's
tackling was terrible.
Terrible.
Marcus Williams, like, bruh, like, I defend you so much on Twitter, but you're not helping your case, man. Like, you making a statement before the season, like, I've been working on my tackling all off season. I know coaches told me that's what I need to work on. Where is that? Like, you getting trucked. You getting trucked. You getting trucked. Like, you a safety. He was 1-on-1 with Darren Waller. Like, he had him in his sights, got his arm around him, and Darren Waller just, like, Harlem shaked him off and just got a first down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you a safety, bro, and you come in with distance and speed. You got a hit. You know what I'm saying? It's like
didn't happen.
Your best players didn't play.
Players didn't play well, and the Raiders' best players did. Like, it was.
Exactly.
I mean, besides Alvin played great.
Alvin played great. It was like, damn, give it to him more. You know what I'm saying? That's your dogs. Roll with your dogs.
And we gotta talk about this too, because the Saints had a draft, and Ruiz, and I don't know if it's he got injured in training camp and missed so much time. Maybe that's why they didn't put him out there, but he's a first round pick, and he was brought in to solidify the offensive line. I don't think the offensive line played terrible. It wasn't.
Not at all.
It didn't play terrible. Although shout out to our boy Andres Pete that on that Drew Brees interception.
Pete, bro. Y'all paid this man.
And here the thing that one thing I will give us as Saints fans, like, we might be an annoying fan base or whatever, but like, we know our team. So like, if we're like the outrage when we re-signed Pete, and like the article that came out after justifying it, well, the Chiefs were like, who fucking cares? Like,
I don't want to hear that shit.
Like, who cares? We know what he is. Like, it's just super frustrating. And then you have a game where, but for the most part, pass rush was non-existent. You take Zach Bond in the first or in the third round. He's a pass rusher. I don't even know if he even got on the field.
Did he? I was looking. I was
I'm
like,
pretty sure he didn't. And if he did, it wasn't. I don't think it was on any downs that meant anything. Like it may have been on special teams. Like I don't know if that's coaching. And again, he got injured. He got injured as well. So it's kind of hard to say what it is. But there is these players that the Saints drafted that they're not making any impacts, and that's
my man Adam Charlie caught one pass. That was nice to see.
It was nice. That was good. And I even said it before the game. I said, "Yo, I see Harrison Bryant over there making plays for the Browns, and I love me some Harrison Bryant coming out. Like Troutman got to do something. Like he made his little catch, and he pulled a Brandon Coleman. He said,
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. Good.
No more.
Later. But that was good to see.
It was encouraging.
I mean, outside the draft, free agency. Look at Emmanuel Sanders, man. Like I know he caught the touchdown last week, but I mean he wasn't getting it done. I mean, a couple of drops. Someone was Drew Brees was making some poor passes to him. So But I said, and I don't know if it was the last podcast or the podcast before. Saints fans just need to prepare just the way the season. No preseason and a shortened training camp. I just knew that the Emmanuel Sanders Brees connection wouldn't come off stellar in the beginning. It was kind of like Jared Cook and Brees last year, just beginning. It's going to take time. These are timing. This is a timing and anticipation type of quarterback. It's a timing and anticipation type of wide receiver. So you just, don't overreact and be like, oh, well, Emmanuel Sanders isn't doing it. No, look, just give it time, I think.
Right.
I think it's just going to take time to build that chemistry. So just give it, it that time. But shout out to my dude, Traquan.
For sure.
I'm saying he did his best effort to replace Michael Thomas, which is impossible to replace him. You just can't replace him. And he just gave his all. He caught pretty much everything he could. He ran, he was at that lined up at that X position, which he usually doesn't play. And he was catching those balls, making tough catches, getting hit. So I mean, props to him.
For sure. Traquan's gotten some slander, whether it be wherever. And he had a good game, man. I felt good for him.
That helps him. That helps him going forward down the season.
Oh, so, absolutely. Just building on his confidence. It was just so like it was interesting because like you would think without Mike, whatever, maybe they get Taysom involved. Taysom got maybe one meaningful snap on offense, and then the one rookie that seems to be making noise and is Callaway. Like he didn't catch a ball, but he was in there. And I think that's interesting to see. Again, like you said, this isn't DEFCON, whatever. I'm not a military person.
Is it 105? I think it's 105.
I always forget which fucking way it is. But anyway, I don't see it being that. I think you do leave as a Saints fan just being disappointed.
It's disappointed because look, you talked about all offseason how this is the best roster in the NFL. It should win 13 plus games at least and all this stuff. And then you come in the season, you have a kind of I'll take it type of win in week one. And then week two versus a team you should feel like you should have a good victory against. You drop a L to, but
a good victory against, and I think if you just look at the way the game started out.
Yeah. I mean, you up 10. You up 10, man.
And I said
we spent yesterday just clowning the Falcons. Obviously it's not as bad as what they gave up, but we just, we spent yesterday just look at the Falcons.
Yep.
But now we like, we can't much talk, man.
And the whole fucking PAT 2-point conversion, most Saints shit ever. Just like that happens to no other. I mean, it just us, bro. Just us. Like, I don't know if that changes like the game, but like that at
But
that.
it just was like everything was just trending up,
Yep.
up until then that moment happened. And it's like,
Because at that point it goes. That's an 11-point game. That it's not even a touchdown and a field goal. Like they have to
right.
score 2 touchdowns or a touchdown and 2 field goals. Like
Saints was feeling good. Like Saints was feeling good, boy. You know, and I don't even know what happened. It's like, okay, 68. He didn't declare as an eligible. Like I know he declared the snap before that because I heard it on the TV. So maybe he thought like, okay, since I declared before, I don't need to declare again. I don't know. I don't know the rules around eligible receiver rules. I don't know that shit. So whatever, you know. But it's like of all the things to catch you, that like of all things, really.
and I guess why, maybe again, if he's not playing, my mind kind of goes to like, why is that not Caesar like coming in? And I don't know,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
just
I just think because he's missed time. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
the Saints, man. And then so you put that on film, you put that out in the ether, and then you have Aaron Rodgers coming in next Sunday.
Whew.
Oh boy.
And what day is that on?
Sunday Night Football.
What's the day? The 21st.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be what, the 28th? Oh no, the 26th.
20.
So we got a short week.
Short week. Yep.
I don't know, bro. They probably called us at the right time. If it was October, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it's kind of stupid to think about it. Like, well, what's the difference between the Saints in September and October? I don't know. But I'm just saying, when you look at the trends, the Saints in October are a dominant team. Like, they win 8 out of 10 games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's 80%. They are a great team. They get rolling. Even during the 79 seasons when they were terrible, they are great in October. Like maybe it's about Sean Payton's coaching or whatever, but they'll get dialed in October. But in September, when they're trying to just put things together, you're just gonna have things like this. That's why I just want to tell Saints fans, like, remember, like 2000. Remember last year, we barely went against the Texans. There's a loss against the Rams. You had the Drew Brees injury, and I mean, I don't even. Honestly, the way that game was going, I don't even think if Drew Brees was healthy, we probably wouldn't have beat the Rams. Year before, you had that Tampa Bay. The game me and you were at. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? I don't even remember the week 2 of that season.
I want to say it was the Browns, and I think that was because that would have been Baker's rookie season.
Yeah,
he didn't play.
yeah.
Tyrod played.
Yeah, and we beat them. We beat them that game, but it was like real tight.
Yep.
And we barely beat them.
Yep.
Barely beat them. But that's 2008. 2017. You had, obviously the historic 0-2 start. Got demolished by Sam Bradford's Vikings.
Oh, bruh. You know what's fucking hilarious about that? I remember because I took like vacation time off early from work to watch it because it was Monday Night Football.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
This nigga said, you could have been out saving some kids instead of watching this shit. You should have stayed at work.
And one of the greatest quarterback games of all time. And he ain't had a game like that since. Like, I think he got hurt the next week and he ain't played like a meaningful game since. You know what I'm saying? Then he could get smoked by the Patriots the next week.
And that's when me and you were in New Orleans. Me and you, Kevin, at the whatever, the Garden Place, whatever it's called.
The infamous Wolf Pick, just looking up dejected. I was done after that. Yeah.
And so to your point, the Saints do not play well in September. And I don't know, man. Like I went in, I expected a blowout, but I think I also I know my team, man. Like
right, exactly. Like I tweeted earlier today, I said I know what I want to see from the Saints, but they ain't gonna give it to me.
No.
Like I just would love to envision them going in to the beautiful new Raiders stadium and dropping, 38 points, defense balling, you know what I'm saying? Holds the Raiders to like 17, and it's just one of those good games where we just tweeting in the full quarter, just laughing, you know what I'm saying? But I just knew that wasn't going to happen. Like it wasn't going to happen. Even if we won, it wasn't going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? That's just where we are. So I'm just saying, don't freak out. I'm not saying don't pay attention. Like there are things to kind of put down in your notes and worry about and watch forward, but don't freak out and feel like, yeah, this team is done, man. Like this is a long season. The Saints are still talented, I think. I think they're talented.
Oh, I mean,
I think.
this was. I mean, I agree with you, but kind of a reawakening. Here's the thing, man. Like I know Sean. Like he is a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Temperamental personality.
Yeah.
And so it would not shock me. And I'm not putting this in the ether, but it not shock me if the team doesn't turn around soon, that he may do something trade-wise, whether it's trading someone on the team or trying to trade for a player to try to shake things up. Like it just wouldn't shock me. Like I just,
Wouldn't shock me at all.
Like I just know the team. But we, like you said, we think they're talented. And I guess my question, and I know a lot of people were shitting on Dennis Allen tonight, and some of it was warranted, but like, also too, from like a defensive perspective, when your talent isn't playing well, like,
so what do you do?
What do you do? Like
when your deep safety isn't tackling, when Marshall Lattimore isn't tackling,
like that.
The only dude that was balling was Demario Davis. He was the only one like balling.
And like that play
pressure.
That play that Marshawn makes or doesn't make on Edwards, where he tries to like jump it instead of just knocking the ball down, he breaks the tackle. I don't know what you do as a D coordinator. Like I'm not again not Dennis Allen's best game, but to that point, I think the Raiders,
I mean, he tried everything on Waller. It's not like he kept doing the same thing on Waller. He tried man on man with Malcolm Jenkins. He tried in and out coverage, which kind of worked with like he'll do Jenkins and I can't forget it. I can't remember his name.
Oh, PJ.
Yeah, he'll do break, or he'll put PJ man on man or in zone. None of it worked. It just didn't work.
Nothing. And when the opposing team's offensive line is blocking their ass off, and you're not getting pressure, and I don't want to harp on it, but this is why when you have a player like Marcus Davenport, who's now missed 2 games in the season, like this is why we harp on it so much, is because
you miss him.
You miss him. Like he was drafted to impact and change games like this one, and he's not there. Trey,
like I love my dude Triple Trey. I love him.
Still had a pretty decent game. Like shout out to Trey.
Game. But he's a lightweight player. You know what I'm saying? He's a lightweight player that's supposed to come in the fourth quarter when you up by 17 points and just light it up. But he just doesn't have that sand in his pants to just sit back and just collapse a line. That's what you got Marcus Davenport for, and we just didn't have that there. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't know what's going on with his elbow. I don't know if he got it. Who knows, man? I don't even. But we'll see what happens.
Hey, you got low again.
So I don't know what the solution is. We'll preview it on the preview show with the Packers. Here's the thing: Packers have Aaron Jones. Packers have a good offensive line. And maybe because Marshawn, Devontae Adams plays, he'll be up for the matchup, but it's going to be some tough sledding, to say the least.
Yeah. No, it's like arguably you facing one of the best teams in the NFC.
Yep.
So it's gonna be tough. Like even if the Saints play great, it's gonna be tough. So that's just gonna be one of those games you kind of wish maybe they play it a little later while the Saints are trying to still figure things out and put things together. And it also comes back to Brees, man. It's like, I think tonight I was still kind of holding out hopes to be like, okay, maybe he just needs to get timing together, but I'm not all the way there, but I've leaned very closer to I think he just might be done, man. Like you hate to see it, you don't want to see it. I love him to death, but he might just be so limited to where he limits your offense.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, it's a sad reality. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see, because I don't think no decision is going to be made for a couple of weeks. But it is going to be up to him to show if a decision even needs to be made. But
and here's the crazy thing, though, like he didn't play great, but there was still that drive where he got kind of hit and he looked kind of off. But he was like, that was like the Drew that I was expecting to see. Like that was a great drive for him.
It was. After he got hit, I was like, okay. Drew Brees he went back to sling. He threw the touchdown to Jared Cook. Defense got sloppy, but then he came back. He had that, quick drive to put points up to get him back in the 7. And it was like vintage Drew Brees. There was nothing and I think that's just where Drew Brees is right now. Like you get him in a rhythm, playing within 20 yards. I think, he's just as good as anybody. But, come late in the season and especially the playoffs, where you're facing real good defenses that, like, this was a defense they could have took care of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that was the most.
I mean, they benched Arnett, and they had the rookie in there. I mean, not the rookie. They benched Arnett, the rookie, and they had some
Mullins.
scrub in there. Mullins, like you, the fact that you can't cook those guys, like you just can't even attack them.
That's so unlike the Sean Payton, Drew Brees offense.
Oh man, like. That's just not good, So that's just going to be something the Saints have to deal with, like throughout the season.
Nowhere for them to go but up. But we'll see how it goes. Just disappointed. Just a disappointing showing for everybody.
But at the same time, you're missing Mike Thomas, somebody who was like 30-something% of your offense. He was out. You lose by 7. Maybe you should have lost by more. Maybe you should have been closer. You had, 100-something yards and penalties. It wasn't your great game. Everybody played bad, and you lose by 7. It's just like, just take that one on the chin, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to cost you much. You're still in good position in the NFC. You got time to figure things out.
Even though they lost to an AFC opponent.
Right. Exactly. So it's not going to cost you much. I didn't see any major injuries, unlike the rest of the league.
Ooh.
So it could be one of those games you look back on and be like, oh, remember that game? You laugh about, or it could be one of those games that you look back on and be like, damn, that was a sign of the times.
That could have been the beginning of the end.
Right, exactly. So we'll see, man.
But our goal, we don't know how
excuse me,
be able to do this how much going forward. But our goal is hopefully do a little more like rapid reaction podcast. It's a little easier when it's Monday night, Sunday night football coming up, instead of like being right dead center in the middle of on a Sunday, what have you. But we want to get to people something to listen to after that showing. And also, for anyone who has questioned Ryan and I in the past about, not being as like I'm like, it's so good to be good. Like,
yeah. I'm waking up in the morning beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so good. I'm drinking right now. I might be a little hungover in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be
It's a little
good.
different for me. Like I don't have to go to an office tomorrow. The office tomorrow, because of COVID or what have you. But I live in LA, the Valley, which is run by Raiders fans. So even if I did have to go to the office tomorrow, it's like, and Raiders fans are so cool 99% of the time. It's like, yeah, y'all fucking got us. Like,
It's what it is.
What it is. Good fucking game. But they got a lot to clean up. I'm sure Sean Payton is fuming. I haven't even heard the post game presser. I'll see some quotes later. But anyway, thanks you guys for supporting us. We're like I said, we're gonna try to do more of this. Did you rapid reaction shows? Obviously, just off the top of our dome, breaking down the game, feelings, thoughts, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on Sunday.
We'll be back. We'll be back, baby.
Yeah, either we'll be ecstatic or we'll be. But thanks all you guys for listening to us, for supporting us as always. We appreciate it. With that, we're out.
Peace.
Picture this. You're not just fixing cars, you're living your passion every day. At Cox, you'll work on a diverse range of automobiles. Surrounded by a team of friendly, like-minded individuals, you'll enjoy great pay and benefits. Ready to make this a reality? At Cox, we're recruiting auto and diesel techs to join our Mannheim and Fleet Services teams. Learn, grow, and fine-tune your career as a technician at Cox. Find out more at cox.career/autotech.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.